Hello everybody, this is Maureen from High Point Reiki and Readings, and I'm speaking today on intuition. And the main point I want to make is intuition is natural. Intuition is something that everybody has the capability to use, and it can really improve your life. Think of it as like a singing voice. Everybody can sing happy birthday at a gathering. Not everybody can stay on key, but if they practice a little bit, they can. And if you practice your intuition a little bit, you can use it in your day-to-day activities, and it can be quite beneficial too. So I'm going to go over the 4 clairs and then give you a summation statement about why I think it's a good idea to use your intuition as much as you can and develop it too. So the first one I want to talk about is clairaudience. Clairaudience is clear hearing, and it comes through as sounds or words, but words that you can hear in your head. If those words coming through in your head are saying bad or harmful things directed towards you or others, that is not your intuition. That may be another problem that you need to speak to somebody in a more professional field about. But clairaudience is the type of thing, if you've ever been pondering a problem you've been having and a song comes through that provides some sort of guidance or a perspective you hadn't considered yet, that's clairaudience. Or it could be noises like a car horn honking, or a telephone ringing, or a train, or birds, all sorts of things, and even words. Here's a little hint. Clairaudience does not sound like someone talking in your ear for most people. For most people, it sounds like this, for example. If I tell you to imagine one of your favorite songs, or the song you've been listening to the most lately, I bet you can hear it playing in your head. It might be very quiet, very subtle, but you can hear it, right? That's what clairaudience sounds like for most people. So just because it's not talking in your ear doesn't mean it doesn't have significance. So keep that in mind. The next one I want to cover is claircognizance. Claircognizance is clear knowing. The intuitive hits come through as thoughts. So if you're looking for a parking space, for instance, in a parking lot, and you see one, but it's pretty far out, and you think in your head, I can do better, and then you keep driving, and it looks really, really busy, but you keep driving anyway, and there you go, there's a spot right in the front. Or maybe I shouldn't go that way. They just pop in like thoughts, and so the biggest indicator to me, a lot of people don't think they're claircognizant until, like a lot of people I've talked to, they don't think they are until I tell them a little more about it. And then they're like, oh yeah, I'm totally claircognizant. You kind of come across as a know-it-all. You say things like, I knew I was going to say that, or I knew that was going to happen, kind of a lot, to the point that it may annoy people. And also, you kind of say things out loud sometimes that maybe if you would have thought for a second you didn't mean to. That's all part of development. I wouldn't recommend doing that all the time. You definitely shouldn't walk up to people if you hear something in your head about them and say, oh, you're this, that, or the other, or this, that, the other is happening. You really shouldn't do that. It's bad etiquette. You shouldn't ever give anyone information without permission. But another thing that happens to claircognizance a lot is they will be immersed in a situation as it's unfolding, and when it unfolds completely, they are not surprised by how it unfolded at all, and everybody else is absolutely shocked. They can't believe it happened that way. And it almost creates a confusion. You're like, you totally didn't see that coming? Because I totally did. Yeah, that's probably a claircognizant thing. So, The next one I want to talk about is Clairsentience. That's clear feeling. And that's when you walk into a place, or you're just sitting around even, and you get tingles, or you get knots in your stomach, or you may even feel like your stomach is dropping out of you. Like if someone tells you some news and your stomach drops, or you might say things like, oh, I have a bad feeling about this, or something about this place doesn't feel right. It's clear feeling, so, it's physical sensations, and that's clairsentience. And I bet some of you out there have had that experience. Hopefully it's even saved your behind when you entered into somewhere and all of a sudden you got this feeling like, oh, I shouldn't be here anymore. Something feels very, very bad, and you left, and you found out later that that was the right decision. Whatever happened. The last one is clairvoyance. For a lot of people, it comes through in dreams. So you may have a dream, and it may be a straightforward, very vivid kind of dream outlaying something that exactly happened, or it may be an abstract dream that in hindsight, you think about it later on and you're saying to yourself, oh, okay, I think that's what that dream was about that I couldn't, figure out, parse together. Yeah, so clairvoyance is very much like clairaudience. It's not as if you see visions in front of your eyes. Now, people who see spirits and things like that, that's also clairvoyance. But most people, it's like saying, imagine yourself at the beach. And if you can see yourself sitting on the beach in your head, that's what clairvoyance looks like. You just have to tune into those things. And that's really the key. If you want to develop it, you have to tune into it. And if it recommends you do something and you're not feeling overly emotional or anything like that, then listen to what it says. And, you might get some interesting, unexpected, wonderful results, or at least be able to remove yourself from a dangerous situation that if you hadn't listened, you would have been in a lot of trouble. And that's why I recommend developing your intuition. Like I said, you don't have to be a professional, but if you get a very strong feeling about something or a very strong thought, or if, like I said, a song pops into your head while you're thinking about an issue that's really bothering you, listen to what it's saying to you. It can be incredibly helpful in guiding you onto the right path, because that really is the point of intuition, is to give you the messages that will keep you safe and guide you onto the right path. So you don't need to be afraid of it. The more you embrace it, the better it could turn out for you. One thing I will say though, and I don't think it would be fair to tell you all this without saying this, sometimes intuition is guiding you on a path that maybe if you'd known ahead of time, you wouldn't have been so excited to go down that path. I'm talking a job you end up hating, a relationship that works out badly, something along those lines. These are things we are meant to experience. These are things that contain lessons that we need to learn. And that's why we were guided there. It's not as if ill will was meant to you by anyone or anything. It's simply, it's time to learn that being clingy isn't a good thing to have in a relationship. It's time to learn that going for a job with a big bottom line for you won't necessarily fulfill you. Things like that. And these are all things, if I can get a little bit on the outskirts of normalcy for a minute, these are things our soul decides to learn before it even comes to Earth. So we talk to our guides, our spirit team, as some say, and say, I want to learn about this, that, and the other, and then those experiences are laid out for us throughout our lifetime so that we can enrich our soul and give it an even better experience next time. So, in summation, intuition is a wonderful thing. The more you're in touch with it, the better it feels, and the more on your path you're going to be able to stay. It's not perfect, just like anything else. Like I said with the singing, not everybody has a perfect singing night, and that's okay. But if you're trying to stay in touch with it, don't stress out about it too much. Don't obsess over it either. The more you push, the less likely it is to work the way you're hoping it will. So just let it occur naturally, but when it does, pay attention, listen to it, and try to honor what it's telling you. And in my opinion, a lot of things will work out a lot better for you. So if any of the things I've talked about in this video make any sense to you, if you've had those experiences, there's no reason to be afraid. We're actually very lucky to have that on our side as we go through this crazy earthly experience. And I hope that you can learn to love your intuition and listen to it, especially when it's trying to save you from danger. And I hope you enjoy it too, because it can be a lot of fun. So if you have any questions, you can email me at highpointreiki@gmail.com. You can go to my website at highpointreikiandreadings.com. I also offer Reiki and intuitive readings, and I even do medium readings. So if any of that is of interest to you, feel free to reach out and seek my services. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you.